The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here he is, Brandon.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Brandon Peters Show for the continued journey through the 1960s television series Batman, which is turning 60 years ago today. And so is our episode that aired. First up here, a little bit of the house maintenance stuff going on. Just to let you know, there was questions about guests in the past, and we will be having some guests here soon. So beginning hopefully next episode, my good compatriot and no stranger to the show, Scott Mendelson, will be joining us. He is a gigantic Batman fan. I thought I was the biggest Batman fan, or love Batman so much, until I met Scott Mendelson back in the day when back in Burbank, California. I was like, wow, he is the Bat fan. And he also appeared on I believe it was the 25th anniversary Blu-ray edition for the 1989 film Batman on a Featurette, back when he was writing for Forbes. Pretty cool stuff, but I'm very excited to have him on. And then later on the next Riddler episode, we should be having Jonathan Graves of This Mean Podcast. It's a Looney Tunes podcast. You should go check it out. It's grown to a gigantic thing. He's been on the show before. It was a few years ago. He is the spouse of Sabina Graves, who's a regular on this show, but we're very happy to have him and talking Frank Gorshin. And hope you enjoy all of that. So without further ado, let's get to this week's episodes. The first of the two-parter this week is The Joker is Wild. Who's the villain this week, huh? Just kidding. All right. This week, the special guest villain is Cesar Romero, who plays the Joker. He was a big time actor back then. If you look at his IMDb, he has like 203 credits of film and television throughout his career. This guy, his career, this was a little blip on it at the time, but now as time has passed, most people know him as the Joker. Like, I would say, I'd be surprised what other things people know him from that aren't big TV buffs or film buffs or something like that. But he here is excellent. I don't think he gets enough credit. There's always the joke about him having his mustache still because he refused to shave it because it was part of his look and got him roles and he was known for. And he didn't want to shave it for just television guest spots sporadically. But he is all in here. This is an insanely committed performance. He is the Joker. Now, the Joker has grown and become one of the most iconic villains in media of all time. I mean, they made a movie of the Joker and it made like over $1 billion. Like, it's crazy. And everybody's always like, Batman versus the Joker. That's the one that's going to make money. Joker, Joker, Joker. And I think it begins a bit here with Cesar Romero as the Joker because he's so into it. Granted, he's a cartoonish version of it, but all the villains here are. Everybody is heightened. They got the comic accurate costumes on. He's just nutty beyond insane. Like, it's crazy. And he's an older guy doing this too. It's crazy. But I give Cesar Romero credit because without him, you wouldn't have the contrast that is Jack Nicholson's Joker in 1989 that I think even takes the role to, and that's the one that established it as a serious, like a meaty part for people to play. But here, I mean, this is crazy. This is like a comic book character right off the screen, and it's outstanding. The other guest here this week is Nancy Kovacs. She's not credited in the opening titles, but in the closing credits, she has a special like section where her font and her text is bigger. She plays the Joker's squeeze Queenie, and she was in Jason and the Argonauts and did a guest spot on I Dream of Jeannie. Also guested on Perry Mason, Man from Uncle, I Spy, The FBI, Get Smart, Hawaii Five-O. So she was somebody who was making the rounds on television shows back in the day. A lot of people did. There's a lot of real known people being known for guest acting and things like that. And that's kind of something that's gone away now that linear television and primetime TV has become this streaming event thing, and you don't have weekly gatherings or oh, did you see so and so is back on such and last night? But that's the way it's been. We get a new director this week, Don Weiss. He's a mainly TV director. He's got a lot of credits here. He did Andy Griffith, The Detectives, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, The Twilight Zone, Perry Mason, The Virginian. After Batman, he'll do more TV. Like he does Happy Days, Planet of the Apes. Which, if you're a fan of Planet of the Apes, look through my archives. Russell McGee and I did the Planet of the Apes TV series. So this is not my first time talking Don Weiss on a podcast before. uh, Ironside, SWAT, Kolchak the Night Stalker, Starsky and Hush, MASH, Charlie's Angels, T.J. Hooker, Cagney Lacey, Love Boat, Simon and Simon, and one of his last credits ever is an episode of Freddy's Nightmares, which I think is gnarly. This is written by Robert Dozier, the son of the producer William Dozier, who does the narrating thing, and he just wrote some other TV, not real big. He wasn't, a big writer or anything. Didn't spawn off. This is probably, hey kid, you want to write one of the Batmans? And he did. So that's about as much depth as it goes with that. This episode revolves around the Joker wanting his own utility belt. He sets up a operation to rob comedy jewels and stuff from a museum via a comedy exhibit in the museum, and it fails. And he's like, I need me a utility belt. So he gets his own utility belt, snatches Batman's, causes all sorts of mayhem. It's pretty much what the episode is about. This is also based on a comic book, Batman number 73, The Joker's Utility Belt. In that comic book, or that comic, here's the similarities. This is another one. This is even closer adaptation, I think, than the Penguin one from last week. But this has the museum with the Comedians Hall of Fame in it. Joker escaping, those goons are caught, him wanting to make a utility belt. The SS Gotham model is on display here in a case, and Batman and Robin get selected to christen it. The opera happens here with the clown mask. We'll talk about that in a sec. There's the hand buzzer. Joker uses a hand buzzer on somebody that shocks him up. J.J. Laughwell returning home from an African exposition is a notable factor. Signs that Joker does this thing, and these like signs pop up, but like phooey on Batman and hooray for the Joker. Though it's hurrah for the Joker in the comic, it's hooray for the Joker in the TV show. The swapping of utility belts happens. Champagne bottle with paralyzing gas for the christening of the SS Gotham. And then I wanted to note this comic book was one that was like a collection of a bunch. This was the main story in the comic book, but it also included a couple other stories, as non-Batman ones as well. But the two other Batman ones in here are Guns for Hire and Vicky Vale's Secret. So pretty interesting to note. So Joker does jokes, not riddles, and Penguin did little things too, but he does the clues thing. Like everybody else, it seems to be a running setup here for things. But there's a bust painted like the Joker that's mounted on a pedestal, and that it's a clue. That's the for the museum, which is the Hall of Fame for the comedians, and they didn't include the Joker, and so he's mad. But they're like, okay, but there's also jewels in there, so. This doll, they figure that out, and Joker's hiding him and his goons there. But yeah, the Batman. It's like the show's like someone's gonna say something about this because Batman notes.
Why would he leave you a clue, Batman?
He might not mean to.
It's a trait of the criminal mind, the urge to boast. It often leads to the criminal's giving himself away.
It's the trait of the criminal mind, the urge to boast. It often leads to the criminal giving themselves away. So there we go. There's also a doll that gets tossed through Commissioner Gordon's office. That's a clue that tips him off to the opera going on later that night. Let's get here. Celebrity window cameo. Not yet, and no climbing in this episode. This is yeah, no climbing. Sorry about it. Gadgets on display in this one, and the Joker's Wild. The Bat Phone, the Bat Poles, the Bat Cave, the Batmobile, the Bat Drill. There's like a drill he uses to open the door. And the hypospectrographic analyzer returns again. They use that thing a lot. We do get a fight here, and it's odd. It's maybe at a point where they were getting so far in production they didn't know what people were latching onto or what was going on because there's no like real music during the fight. And from the previous ones, it feels kind of off. And like I was like, were we missing stuff? And there's only three fight words here: crack, oof, with four O's and two F's. We're gonna talk about that toward the end of the episode. And thwap. So we got two new words. And then there's a second brief fight that happens, but there's no words.
Holy ravioli!
You're warm.
The Robinisms in this episode. Holy Koufax. Holy Jack in the Box. Holy red herring. Holy stuffing. Two heads are better than one. And holy ravioli. He was on a holy journey, his own crusade here with the holies here. Like, if you were to, like, if someone would be like, oh, that's just stereotype, he didn't say it that much, then you show him this episode, be like, oops, yeah, he says it a lot. So, holy ravioli. Wow. Before we get to the cliffhanger, here's some notable things through this episode. It's the Gotham State Penitentiary, not Arkham, that the Joker is in. Warden Crichton, who was in the previous episode, gets a mention. Joker's first time you see him, he's in a prison uniform. He's playing baseball, and then this spring loads him. But our first instance with the Penguin, when we saw him, was in prison, but he was wearing his full-on attire. Joker also, our first look at him, is in prison, but he's got a outfit on. It's not orange or anything. It's this blue denim thing. You can tell the directors had changed because the sort of the lighting, some of the angles, it felt like there was just a feeling that was a little different on this show. Especially like the way they shoot Wayne Manor. Robin's getting piano lessons from Aunt Harriet. It's just real big looking, and a lot of Wayne Manor's been a little more consolidated or eye level shots and stuff, and this is kind of over. So it's a little playing with the same sets we've been seeing are getting different angles, camera movements, lighting structure, stuff like that. So it was definitely noticeable that it was. If you would have said, yeah, this one was different, I would have asked like, is this in different hands? We have a scene of the girls going crazy for Robin when they show up to the museum, like, oh, Robin, the boy wonder. It was nutty. The Joker's goons are all named after comedians. We have Laurel and Hardy, Ernie Kovacs, and W.C. Fields. Neat. The villain alliteration things continue throughout this. You have the playful pilfering pals and mere petty pilfering. A lot of use of the words pilfering in this series, I will say. And Commissioner Gordon gets in on the alliteration with calling the Joker that chaplain of chicanery. And the opera clown mask looks like one of the heist guys from the opening of The Dark Knight. So they go to this opera, there's like the sad clown thing, and he's wearing a mask. It is literally the one that Heath Ledger wears in the opening of The Dark Knight with the heist and stuff. That's the clown he's wearing. It's pretty neat, and it's probably intentional in that movie. The cliffhanger for this episode at the opera that I was mentioning, Batman and Robin are grabbed, and the Joker's in the opera singer clown mask, and he's going to unmask Batman and Robin on live television because they're showing the opera. And they say, answers tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. The word bat is spoken. It's still not on the on-screen text yet. So here we go. And now let's go to our second episode. Batman is Riled. Once again, Cesar Romero is the Joker, and we also have Nancy Kovac returning to play Queenie. Those are our guests. And still, same director and writer, Don Weiss and Little Dozier. The cliffhanger resolution, Batman shoots something from his utility belt at the sprinkler system, and they manage to get away. Joker talking in this one, I guess I have this jokes column, but I don't know. He doesn't really tell much jokes, but Fat Man and Boy Blunder calls them that quite a bit. And then he says, "What is wrong with this sentence?" He manages to hijack and get on live TV. And he says, "He who laughs last laughs good." And then they realize it's Professor Laughwell, is what they're talking about. Because no one laughs good, they laugh well. And so they go, Professor Laughwell, and he blindfolds at the last longer, and there's blindfolds at the last longer warehouse. It's the way they come up with this stuff, you can't help but chuckle. Next time you see the real showstopper, that's what Joker tells him. All right, now we go to the celebrity window cameo. Nope. But they do climb, and they stop to have a conversation while they're climbing. So we're getting there. They're playing with the climbing thing. The gadgets on display in Batman is Riled. There's the bat sunball that shoots at the sprinkler system thing. Don't have a name for it. And I'm doing these on my own, damn it. Batarang, Bat Rope, Bat Cuffs, Batmobile, Bat Cave. The hypospectrographic analyzers back in that's what we got here. All right. We have a fight. We have one fight, and it has no words. And we have a second fight, and the second fight's coming, and they're not playing the music that they usually do when they fight, and like the words don't start till later in the fight. It's really weird how the fights go. So you definitely, when I was talking about this being definitely feeling like it's directed by someone else, it feels like the post production was different people too, or no one, like they weren't talking from the first episode. These people, it's really interesting. But the fight words are awk, bam, crunch, yow, and there's an O in yow, and there's a tongue in there going like vibrating there. There's ack. So with 3 exclamation points, a different crack. We had crack last time, and then we have ack, and then we have oof with 4 O's. So let's go to our season tally on the fight words here. Now, there's some speculation, and if you want to chime in and let me know what you think about it, that's great. Bam has currently taken the lead with 3. So we have 3 Bams. We have Crunch, Zlonk, Kapow, and Oof with 4 O's at 2. Now, there's an Oof we had earlier, both with 2, it had 2 F's, but only had 3 O's. They have the same amount of exclamation points. Do we discern between oofs, or do we count just oof as a general thing, and oof is tied with Bam for 3? I'm going to let you chime in right now. I'm going to be a stickler and say they're 2 different oofs. 2 different oofs. The 3-0 oof and the 4-0 oof. But right now, Bam is our leading fight word for season 1 of Batman. So let me know. All right. Now the Robinisms here. We have Holy Serpentine. Oh boy, how I'd like to top him with a punchline. Holy grammar. Holy safari. Holy headlines. Do we look like page 1 dumbbells? And golly gee minor Bruce, do I have to? That one said as Dick Grayson, but I'm counting the Dick Grayson ones too. But yeah, holy, 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 holy. These 2 episodes are so holy. Notes that I have, things I noticed. Joker uses the handshake buzzer on a newscaster. It's a typical Joker thing, and that was in the comic, as we mentioned earlier. He's hit us below the belt. That's a funny line that Batman says after when he realizes that his utility belt had been switched. I swear by ever, fiend of felonious fundum. That was a good line. The Joker hijacked a camera for airtime is something you'd see do, and he does that in the Dark Knight even. He did it in Batman 89. So that's a Joker thing, hijacking and I'm sure he did it in Batman the Animated Series plenty, but he likes to be on TV. And then the second fight was pandemonium with flashbangs, confetti, smoke, and more. It was just a boom display. You had stairwells, stuff like that. It was a dangerous looking fight, just smoke, lots going on. It was nuts. And I want to say that this episode, compared to the first two, the villain is far more aggressive, and there's a lot more confrontation. There's a lot more head on. There's a lot more Batman with the villain in the same space. It didn't wait till the end. Like the Penguin one had a talkie scene for a bit, and then they didn't meet till the end of the last one, the end of the later one. But like, yeah, Joker was really aggressive compared to the previous two villains in this. So there was a very more action-packed story than the previous ones. So yeah, that'll do it for our third story of the season, 6 episodes deep of the Batman 66. As always, I love your feedback. Leave me your comments and stuff, and I'll try to address them on the air. Right now, I'm not ahead, so it is week to week. So if you leave one now, you're probably going to hear an answer to it the next week. I appreciate that as well. I'm having a good time. Like I said, next week, Mr. Freeze with Scott Mendelson. So we'll be getting to that. A lot of fun. There's other guests I hope to have here too, but just enjoying this ride, going through this and celebrating the show as it turns 60. These episodes aired, I believe, January 26th and 27th of 1966. I didn't mention that up top, but yeah. So happy 60 years of the first iteration of the Clown Prince of Crime in live action, Cesar Romero. Hats off to him. So yeah, I appreciate you listening. Always remember, you can check out, if you're on the YouTube channel, check out my 4K and Blu-ray reviews, as well as other episodes of the show. And yeah, we should be starting up a Val Lewton retrospective with Stephen Warren Hill shortly here, as well as other fun episodes to go as well. So thank you all. Hope to see you back here. Same Brandon time, same Brandon podcast. And as always, stay film positive.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.